podcast, My Nerd Pencil Fell, for Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. Almost said Ian Ferguson.
I'm here.
I'm Pat Contry. Oh boy, do we have a beefy podcast for you all. Beefy. Breaking news right before we started recording about Google Stadia events. We have talk about game preservation, including we missed out on the UWC wrestling prototype last week. Somehow we forgot to put that down. Another NWC found, Atari VCS delay, Bully Hunter style game team to make sure your kids don't know how to play games anymore and piss them off. It's really weird. Scumbags of the week and more. Ian, what's been going on?
Not a whole lot, Patrick. How about you?
Oh, okay. Well, I ended a certain Super Nintendo Kickstarter. You can still pre-order Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library at ultimatesnes.com or supernesbook.com, or I probably registered 3 or 4 of these. Any one of those you could
SNES.com.
Yeah, any combination. Yeah, you can go there. You can still get it. I have 3 reviews left to write: Super Mario World, Super Mario All Stars, and Super Mario World / All Stars, which isn't really a review. I actually streamed me playing through Super Mario World on Saturday on Twitch. My first official non-NES marathon game streaming ever, and it went okay. I almost had a meltdown because the USB controller wasn't working right. I couldn't get the analog the Super NT to work. The audio wasn't working, so I went fucking emulator. I just did that. It took a good 6 hours to play through Super Mario World with all the alternate paths. So yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's a long game. Yeah. No, what's up with me is there's tiles. There's tiles falling off of my bathroom wall.
That's fun.
Because the people next. So I live in an apartment building. The people next door to us moved out, so now they're they're ripping out the carpet. They're putting in a new bathtub, etc., etc. And I woke up from I was in the middle of a dream, one of those in between lucid sort of dream states, where I thought someone was playing dubstep music really, really loud because what it was the banging from next door and the saws and all the fucking tool noise in my head, to my dreaming head. It was oh man, someone needs to turn that dubstep down. But I woke up, realized what was going on, and then sat there for about 10 minutes, and then I heard shattering. And I thought it was from...
Nothing but shadow dreams,
shadow dreams! Thought it was from next door, but no, they were hitting the wall so hard that, tiles were falling off in my shower. So
that's good stuff, Ian.
It's the greatest. It's the best. That's it. That's all.
This doesn't beat the experience from the marathon here, but it's
well, that was a special.
That was a special present. I'm not going to talk about publicly, but
a very special episode.
A very special episode
of the bathroom.
That's what they talk to you afterwards, seriously, like a sitcom.
Yeah,
we presented some very special issues. If you know anyone, here's the 800 number. Talk to your church parishioner. Talk to an adult. Talk to a teacher.
You don't want to talk to your church parishioners.
Well, some that's cleaned up somewhat, a little bit, hopefully. Anyway,
yeah.
Well, my church didn't have any shenanigans going on, I don't think. Maybe one guy. Anyway, Ian, Pixel Dan, our pal Pixel Dan was on Raw last night. Pixel Dan, if you don't know,
I have to look that up.
He's a YouTuber. He's one of the first. I call him a preeminent toy reviewer. Before now, you have little kids making millions of dollars on Twitch playing toys with toys. It should have been Dan, because Dan was doing this 10 years ago. Playing with toys. And playing toys.
Playing toys.
They're playing toys. But Dan's also a pro wrestler on the side. I don't know how he does this, but he's a pro wrestler for a long time. So he was on Raw. Usually they ask for, when Raw has extra people like security guards or ancillary characters, they usually ask the independent locals, why not?
Right.
Get them involved. Goodwill, good faith. And so plus it's probably easy. They know the business. So Dan was one of No Way Jose's entourage dancing around, and I did not notice watching. Somehow, because how you look for him? He was wearing all purple and glasses. But once someone tweeted it, now you can't take your eyes off because Dan's just his face is what? How we know that in the background. So he's allegedly he might be on SmackDown tonight. So check out SmackDown. He might be in the background. I'm hoping he gets beat up by Becky Lynch as a security guard. That'd be hysterical. I'm hoping for something like that.
That would be fun.
He'll be what? He gets smacked in the face and just go down hard. It'd be funny. So I love Dan.
I love Dan too. I miss Dan.
we'll talk
Do you
about.
think he just eats the Rock's diet? You know, that one that I brought up on the podcast once, the one that's like all cod?
I've seen Dan without a shirt off. You know, he keeps in wrestling shape, but I don't know if he's in rock shape. I'll just say that.
Okay. He's not in cod shape.
With not in all 300 grams of cod a day. No, he's not. As a funny aside, Rock was in my dreams last night.
Well, we all had some wild-ass dreams.
No. It's probably related to the fact that I watch wrestling, but whenever I always tell people this. I don't have too many recurring dreams. I have recurring dreams of being in college, and I find out there's like an essay due the next day, like a 12-page paper I didn't start.
You still get that dream?
Yes.
That's terrifying.
I do not miss college at all because of that. I get dreams where I'm in grade school, my real grade school, and I see my bus pulling away, and I'm horrified. That happened to me twice as a kid. That's my other recurring. My third recurring dream is that I'm a pro wrestler who's never used. I never even get a chance to get in the ring. And and that happened again last night, but this time The Rock was in the dream because in my dream I'm still with the WWE. I haven't been there. I signed like 6 years ago. I haven't been on TV like in 5. And The Rock, so I'm basically become like Hurricane Helms because The Rock comes up to me and he's like, "Pal, WWE's going to fire you. They haven't been around. What's going on?" I said, "The Rock." I didn't call him The Rock. I said, "Rock, they haven't used me in 5 years." And I said, "Thanks to you, you put me in a little program. That was great 5 years ago, but they didn't do anything with me after that."
Right.
So that was my dream. Part of my dream last night. There was also a kid that drowned I won't get into. That was horrifying at my old home back in New Jersey. But anyway, so that was that. Now we got some Disney MCU news. First, the Avengers trailer, the final trailer came out, and this should be for Endgame. This should be the model
textbook. Yes,
textbook. We don't want to give away too much, but still get your.
They put on a goddamn clinic with that trailer.
Yes. That was a trailer of all phrases and images from past movies and all shit from like the first 20 minutes of the movie, save for probably a few scenes.
Yeah, because a lot of it was callbacks or
crying about half the world dying.
Right. So it's early stuff.
Yeah,
it's early stuff.
So I'm more excited for this than probably for I think even more. I was way excited for Civil War more than I think Infinity War. Since I literally don't know what they're going to do, and most of us don't. They're keeping it so secret. I mean, people have postulated, well, maybe they'll go back in time. They'll try to get the Infinity Stones before Thanos does, but you still don't know. We don't know where they're going or who's going to be fighting what.
Sure, and keep in mind that, as some people learned last year, they put misdirection in their trailers. They put misdirection in their commercials.
No Hulk in Wakanda.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't have that. Hulk was beat. Hulk got two-pieced out in the first 5 minutes of the movie. He was done. So it's like I said, I'm super excited. Plus, since they're closing the Fox deal like next week, I'm like twisting my nipples hoping they put some sort of image of the Fantastic Four or X-Men somewhere in the background, even for like a split second.
They're gonna get a teaser. They have to get some sort of teaser.
Like, I don't care if like it's Doctor Strange like looking in other dimensions and you see the Fantastic Four like in the background fighting like some scrollers, like just like a second for all of us to just like explode in our pants. That's all I'm asking for. Not too much more.
Let me see some of Scott Summers' crisp nips.
Scott Summers
crisp nips.
Justice for Cyclops finally in the MCU, because he treated like shit in all the X-Men movies. He's like treated like a clown.
He is a clown a lot of the time, but
he's a solid leader. He means well.
He can be written as a good character.
He means well.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a schoolboy, he's a Boy Scout, but I mean, he's treated like a punk in the original X-Men movies. He wasn't even in the second and third ones really at all. And then James Gunn was rehired by Disney for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. 8 months.
This is crazy.
You kind of felt this was coming though, because they didn't hire anyone else in between.
It's what it's what everyone wanted. It's what everyone hoped. It's what made sense. But we're in a world where nothing that we hope for happens and nothing makes sense. So, yes, in my head, this was always how it was going to go, but I didn't think that was a guarantee.
Well, the cast wrote that letter saying, we want him back. You shouldn't fire him. Bautista straight out says, I'm not doing it unless he comes back. He said that. So he was probably still under contract, though. They probably could have forced him or sued him for a ton of money.
There was some rumor going around that it might have been, if he hadn't come back, it might have been...
the guy did Thor Ragnarok.
Taika Waititi,
yeah, but he turned down and said, "I don't want to do it."
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that would have been the only reasonable substitution.
So they were in pre-production back in whenever he got fired, like what was it, late summer, early fall, they were starting pre-production. So they probably would have been filming pretty soon, probably to come out next year, because 3 years after the sequel in 2017. So it's probably still going to come out next year, but now they're probably going to be filming it later in the year because James Gunn is now doing it's not even a soft reboot, a full reboot of Suicide Squad. Since the DCEU is a fucking nightmare and it's totally collapsed on itself like a neutron star, like we said. And people were saying, no, it hasn't. Yes, it has. Yeah. It's fucking done.
The next Batman movie is going to be in the 90s?
That's what they say.
The DCU, it's like, and I realize this is perhaps just coincidence, but it's funny how they look at Marvel and go, oh, okay, yeah, we'll do one of those. So we just had Captain Marvel, with its 90s setting, and they're like, yeah, do Batman that way. I don't either.
They probably didn't say that, but
I know.
But they probably figured, well, Wonder Woman's in the 80s, the sequel coming out.
These Avengers movies are doing well. We need that Justice League right now. We're going to rush it.
Yeah, that didn't work.
90s? 90s up Batman, please.
So the guy who plays Cyborg, I believe, is out since we talked about it. They canceled the Cyborg movie. I think the Flash movie's been canceled forever.
It has been, yeah.
They don't know what they're doing. You're going to have Aquaman movies and Wonder Woman movies that are totally unrelated to each other, and these one-off series, and like a Joker movie that no one really wants that's going to come out. Like, that's what you're going to have.
I definitely want Idris Elba in the Suicide Squad.
Will Smith to Idris Elba. It's a slight upgrade, I guess.
It's a huge... Look, both are fine individuals. Idris Elba is a fine actor.
Yes.
And a fine man.
You like him because he's a DJ. I think that's why.
No.
He's got a Netflix series now where he's a DJ turned nanny. It's like the modern Who's the Boss. I guess that's what it is.
He can rap. He can DJ. He can just sit there and look handsome.
He's the sexiest man alive.
Oh, God. Too. Yes, it's true.
Do you need time alone for Idris Elba?
I do.
You want to hang out with my ex and just talk about Idris Elba for hours on end? You probably can.
I could.
I mean, he was definitely the hall pass in our relationship. I was like, fine. I wouldn't, fucking jump on in front of me. I don't care. Whatever. He's worth it. And then in weird news, we have to bring up, unfortunately, the massacre in New Zealand, Christchurch, the white supremacists that gunned down scores of people, unfortunately, and he live streamed it because he's obviously a psychopath maniac, and that's the world we live in. And before the massacre, he did the subscribe to PewDiePie meme. So now the reason we bring this up is because we talked about PewDiePie in the past. Before I talked about it a lot when you were out. When you were out, that's when a lot of the stuff happened with the Washington Post and calling him out on all his bad anti-Semitic jokes in the past and things of that nature. And what I said at the time, which I'll repeat now, is that there's a reason certain people like and follow you. There's a reason that like a white supremacist site like the Daily Stormer at the time, like PewDiePie was like the poster boy. Like he was on their site. Like he was like featured on their site because PewDiePie was looked at as, oh, he's our guy. He's red pilled. He's wink wink nudging our movement. And so when you have a white supremacist piece of garbage like this invoke your name, you can say, yeah, well, it's because of the meme of subscribe to PewDiePie versus the whole T-Series thing, which is a whole other dumb conversation I don't get into. But he probably likes what he thinks you stand for. And that's really unfortunate, just because now you're intrinsically linked to this event, even in that weird off-putish way of what this guy said before he went on his rampage. And I would just say this, because now Felix knows who we are, if he didn't before. And I'll say the same thing, is that you have to watch what audience likes you and why. Why are you being glorified by a certain audience? Why all of a sudden are you a poster child for a certain audience? You cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore the message you're putting out to the world when you're a huge YouTuber with like whatever it is, 90 million subscribers. You have to pay attention to what you do. You do. You have a responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Or otherwise, this shit's going to happen to you. I actually feel bad that he's now linked to this because obviously, he probably feels disgusted about it. But this is the energy that was put out into the world. These are the things put out, and these are the people that got attached to you for whatever reason. Anything else to add? Or
I don't want to do this today. No, I don't want to do this one.
Okay.
I agree with largely what you say.
Okay.
The people who like you and the people who follow you are a good barometer of what you've put out.
It's a good barometer of your message.
Yeah.
Indirectly or directly, it's a barometer. Okay.